What are you doing with that knife? You better put that down. I'm gonna call the cops. Crazy motherfucker. What the hell's going on?
Oh, what happened? Did you have a nightmare?
Yeah, I think somebody killed me.
Really?
Some freak in a baby mask.
Oh.
He's a real psychopath.
Well, crazy enough, we actually saw a movie just now that's like that.
Yeah, what was it called?
It's called Happy Death Day.
Apparently not this movie. Nothing happy about
There's
that.
nothing happy about that. Welcome, everybody, to another movie review where we talk about Happy Death Day. And this is sort of the new horror movie that's out right now, the latest one for this month of October.
Ironically, on
Friday the 13th. Oh, yeah, baby. And you know what? Where do you want to start with Happy Death Day, sir?
Ooh. Honestly, I don't know where to begin because this movie was... This movie, think of Groundhog's Day meets horror.
Groundhog's Day meets horror, and that's probably the perfect explanation to say about this movie. And you know what? Honestly, probably the best place, I think, to start would be, I think, the plot. The idea that you have this girl in college, her name is Tree, I believe. Yep. And basically she's... is she the popular girl? Maybe somewhat the popular girl, but...
I mean, from what you see in the beginning of the movie, she's kind of one of those typical little bit of party girl. She's just the one that just like... she likes to have fun. She doesn't think of any real consequences.
And she likes to have fun. She likes to, basically insult people like crazy. Very self-centered. Sleeps around. And...
kind of a bitch.
Yeah, let's be honest. She's kind of a bitch. And the idea that it's her birthday. And somebody is out to kill her.
I mean... you see from the trailer, you see the beginning of the cycle.
You do. And the thing about it is, like, there's literally so many suspects that it could be.
Oh, yeah. Just from the first, I don't know, 15 minutes of the film?
Yeah, the first 15 or so minutes, you see a whole barrage of people that could easily be suspects.
A lot of people she's pissed off.
A lot of people she's pissed off, a lot of people that are angry at her, and you're thinking, like, wow... just like she's trying to figure out who the hell is attacking her.
I mean, just in the first 15 minutes, you figured this girl's kind of deserving what she's getting. Yeah,
I mean, you are right. At first, you're thinking to yourself, I don't know if this chick is the most likable person on the planet. Definitely not. And so, I mean...
the first time around, she doesn't realize what's happening. I mean... she's going through her, she's just going through another day. We see her be the selfish person, the bitch, that you kind of expect from the beginning of the movie. Yeah. And you get up to the ending of the first day that she has to start before she goes through the cycle. Yeah. She's walking down to go to this party, and she finds this little creepy, music box which is playing Happy Birthday and all that. And it's really creepy that you find something in the middle of that in a construction zone out in the middle of nowhere. Yes. And then she gets confronted by a person in a mask.
By the mask killer. Yep. And you know what? What I end up actually thinking is, like, once the first time happens, right? And she wakes up, she's like, oh my god, this was the most
realistic dream,
surreal, terrible nightmare I've ever had. And oh my god, okay. But she's kind of thinking, almost like, as she says in the movie, deja vu. Like, oh my god, it seems like this has all happened before. Oh, okay, I guess I'm just gonna try to walk this off, I guess, and it's just gonna be one of those things.
And day 2 starts up.
Yes. And then it's like it continually happens, and she suddenly realizes, oh my god, this is no longer a nightmare. This is actually happening to me. I'm reliving the same damn day over and over again where I'm bound to die. And you know what I mean? I actually really liked the plot. Yes, it carries elements from Groundhog's Day and other horror slasher movies, but you know what? I thought it was very inventive. I did. I really thought it was creative, and you know, honestly, yes, Tree is not the most likable person at first, but I feel like we really get to know her after a while.
Yeah, somewhere near the middle, you find out the reason why she's the way she is.
Absolutely, and we start to grow to like her. And I think she's really, actually, overall, an incredibly likable character. I think a lot of these characters are really likable as well. You're invested in what's going to happen with these people. You're invested in who the hell the killer actually is.
Yeah, that's the thing that really keeps you going in this film. Like, who's the main killer? Who do we suspect it is?
Well, and I don't know about you, Bob, but I mean, for me personally, there are certain movies where I'm like, I could give a damn who the hell the killer is.
Yeah.
Where this movie, I actually really cared, and that's not an easy task for a movie to do nowadays, to get you to care about that stuff.
Yeah.
I thought it was good.
I mean, especially when you got that many, you know, when she starts rounding out who the potential suspect is, and, you know, every time she comes like, oh, it's not that person, I'm like, who could it be? Who could it be? Who's left?
Yeah, and you're trying to think to myself, okay, is it the teacher? Is it the wife? Is it the friend? Is it
the sorority leader or whatever?
Is it the guy that she
wakes up to,
or the guy that just went on one date with, and could be him? And you have so many barrage of people. I really did like that a lot, and I also really think that the acting is really good in this movie too. I don't think anybody was, I guess, playing it for cheap, I guess. I don't want to say cheap as in, like, it being a cheap horror movie, but cheap as in, like, you could have people, like, basically phoning in performances and being too fake, I guess. I don't get any of this from these people. I really don't. I think all the actors do a fantastic job. The actress who plays Tree does an awesome job, too.
And you can really see when she's getting, like, chased and she really gets scared. You can really see the fear in her eyes.
Yeah, you can see the fear in her eyes. You can also see those moments of, like, where she's just exhausted. She's exhausted from so many times dealing with this and so many times being killed, and just the idea of, like, God, when is this going to end?
And a good plot point, which I kind of glad they kind of did, that they don't do in Groundhog's Day, is in the movie you find out, I mean, would you consider it a spoiler?
I don't consider what you're going to say a spoiler, no.
You find out the damage that she gets through each death carries over to a point where, I mean, it doesn't cause her any super internal damage, but overall, if it keeps on happening, she might not be able to do it forever.
Yeah, the idea that basically she's akin to almost a cat that has 9 lives. And the idea that eventually it's just gonna run out. And at a certain point,
her body's just gonna give up the next time she wakes up.
Yeah, so she's got to figure this out, and she's got to figure it out fast. So I did like that aspect of it as well. I mean, also the thing I can say is probably I like the creative deaths. I did.
That's a rare thing to do nowadays, come up with very creative ways to kill somebody.
It's not bloody.
No.
It's not bloody at all. There's barely really any blood in it at all.
I mean, the most common thing that she gets done in this movie is stabbing, but even that, they get kind of creative with it.
They do get creative with the stabbing. There's even, I won't say how the killer uses it, but there's one, I believe it's almost like the second time around, where he breaks a certain bottle. And I thought that was creative. I thought, okay, if you couldn't use that, you could use what you did.
I think there was one that I haven't seen quite a while in horror films, is actual drowning somebody.
Yes, the drowning was nice. For creative stuff with the stabbing.
I mean, you get to see the one in the trailer where she gets blown up.
Yeah, blown up and on fire.
That didn't have, like, serious repercussions in the next life.
I like that. I mean, there's a lot of really cool and interesting deaths in here. And again, it's not like it's so gory that you know, it's kind of over the top, I guess. It's not. But I think the way they do it, because again, you have to cut away in order to get to the next day, but I like the way they handle it.
I like when there's the part where she has almost literally the perfect day where she thinks she's conquered it all.
Yes.
And of course it resets again. She's like, what did I miss? There was that one thing that I missed. What was it?
What did I miss? I don't understand. It's something I missed.
She almost made it.
She almost made it. Damn it, she almost did. You know what? I definitely did enjoy it a lot. I mean, did you want to get into a little bit of spoilers before we?
Yeah, sure.
Do a few things. I mean, what kind of stuff did you have in mind, sir?
I mean, when she's doing her suspect list, I mean, you figure after she goes through one by one, it's like it's not that person, because sometimes some of them actually do get killed right in front of her, so she's not suspecting that person. When she finally finds out who the killer in the mask is, she's kind of shocked that she didn't figure it out at the first time around.
No, and you want to know what? I didn't figure it out either.
I mean, I kind of suspected, because, you know, you have all the list of killers and potential killers, and, like, it wouldn't have made sense if that person wasn't a suspect, or at least a potential suspect.
Yeah, I mean, I wasn't seeing her actually going to actually be the one to be the main killer. Once she was, and she explained it, I was like, oh, it makes perfect sense to me. But until then, I was like, I was like, oh, I hadn't even pegged her as it. But that's clever on the movie, I think.
I mean, those are the kind of twists that really keep you going in this type of film. I mean, even when you find out how the main killer used another person as, oh, that's the scapegoat. I'm like, kind of fits. You figured, oh, that's the main killer. Like, then you find out that twist is not that person.
Yeah, exactly. I like the twists. I like the sort of like unexpected turns that you get with the movie. And you know, I don't think the movie's really all that predictable,
which is a rare thing nowadays.
It is. And nowadays, I'm not gonna lie, I can see things coming almost a mile away. And
almost like a half hour in the film, you kind of foresee where it's going.
Yeah, and here, I thought I knew where it was going.
It's that last 20 minutes that really kind of got you.
Yeah, it turns you. And I actually really did enjoy that part a lot to it. I really did. As far as other spoilers, like from me or something, you know what? I will say this. I think that basically the motivation of her roommate, I thought was
kind of
choppy. The roommate was like, well, you know, you're sleeping with the guy that I really like, and you're just an overall bitch and everything. And I thought to myself,
sometimes that's a little bit of thing to set somebody off.
Sometimes it is. I think so.
In a lot of ways, you think about it, she planned this very carefully to a T before she decided to execute it.
She actually did, all the way down to actually the cupcake, which basically was the thing that almost did her in.
Not to have cupcakes from my roommates anymore.
Don't have cupcakes from your roommates. Don't get cupcakes from anybody, and just make sure that if you do, they eat it first, or eat at least a piece.
Have a little bite.
Have a little bite. Something. Come on.
I never seen somebody run away from a cupcake so fast.
Me neither. Maybe Richard Simmons back in the day, but that's about it. No, I mean, I thought it was really well done. And you know what? I've sort of talked about in some of the past videos the idea of, you know, being now sort of the Halloween season, people want to know what is a movie that they can really get into, and a recommendation. You know what? This is a recommendation to me. It really is. And, you know, where something as we didn't recommend Flatliners, this is something where I think we can recommend to people, where I think they'll have a lot of fun with it.
Call that one Crapliners.
Well, yes. So, what is your final thoughts and grade rating on Happy Death Day, sir?
Well, like they said, the repeating deaths, and like I'm kind of glad you see the character was not totally irredeemable. And you see her evolve from the selfish bitch to actually a decent person that you could like.
Yeah.
Like you said, the unexpected twist at the end of who the real killer was, that kind of threw me.
Yeah.
I kind of suspected, but I kind of like, I wonder if they're going to go that route, because, it's kind of a tricky thing nowadays. But this was one of the more surprising horror films I've seen in a while, so, I mean, this year for horror, we've been, like, what, 2, 3 now?
There's been a few really good ones this year, yeah. There has been.
Which is surprising, considering horror's been kind of lacking in the last while.
Yeah, it's been sort of wishy-washy.
But I would say this is probably one of the better films of the year, for at least horror. I mean, I'd have to probably give it at least... I'll give it... probably I have to get it what I gave the Blade Runner movie, which we did a while back. I have to give it a very low A-.
A very low A-. Wow, well, that's a great rating, sir. That really is.
It's been rare that I've said that for a horror film.
It is, absolutely. For me, like I said, this was a pleasant surprise. I really liked the trailers, and I know I wanted to watch this one. And you know what? I think this is the type of movie that I think over time is going to be a really great beloved horror movie.
Mm-hmm.
It's not gonna, be...
Up there with the greats.
Up there with the greats, but it's going to be one that I think people are going to remember for a long time because I think it's clever, I think it's creative.
Better ones of this generation, at least.
I think so, too. I think that you can't... I think it's unpredictable. You don't know everything that's going to happen with it. And I think it's a movie that has a lot of rewatchability.
Yeah.
I absolutely do. So, for me, I'm going to give it a low A-.
We're on the same dot.
We really are. I absolutely think it is too. And you know what? I mean,
consider this a potential buy.
Consider it a potential buy, sir. It absolutely is. So I actually have something for you, sir. I absolutely do.
Seth.
What?
Why you got this mask? Why do you have this mask?
Mask? No reason at all. But you know what? I did get you something though. I did actually. I got you.
Better not be a death cupcake.
You know what? I did get you something. I know you're gonna like this. I know you are.
Better not.
I got you, sir. It's your cupcake, Bob.
Get it away from me.
Bob, you want it?
No.
Come
really
on,
don't.
Bob.
You better
Really?
get that away from me. Why don't you have a bite?
Oh no! I'm good. I'm not hungry right now. But maybe later.
Maybe after I call the cops.
Oh, I better run out of here, guys. If you enjoyed the movie review, definitely give it a thumbs up. We will be back next time for a movie review. Well, I will. I don't know about him.
Let's see if he's wearing this.
See you later, guys.